In the heart of 18th century Hyderabad, amidst the grandeur and political intrigue of the Nizam's court, a story of forbidden love was quietly unfolding. This is the tale of James Achilles Kirkpatrick, the British resident, and Khair-un-Nissa, a noble woman of Persian descent. Their love was a secret, a dangerous whisper against the backdrop of empires clashing. Today, we journey back in time to uncover the hidden world they built, a secret garden where their hearts could meet, far from the prying eyes of the court. Imagine a sprawling palace, the Rang Mahal, home to Khair-un-Nissa, a young woman known as the most excellent among women. She was a descendant of prophets, her life bound by this strict purdah system, shielded from the outside world. And then there was James, a powerful figure representing the British East India Company, a man of politics and diplomacy. A chasm of culture, religion, and duty separated them. Yet, love, as it often does, found a way to bridge the impossible. Their story begins not with a grand declaration, but with a glimpse from behind the intricate lattice work of her zenana. Khair-un-Nissa would watch the handsome British resident. James, in turn, caught sight of her, a vision of grace and beauty, an attraction sparked, powerful, and immediate. But how could they possibly connect? Their worlds were designed to never intersect. This is where their ingenuity and the complicity of a trusted few began to weave the fabric of their secret affair. The first step was to create a space, a sanctuary just for them. It wasn't a physical garden of plants and flowers, but a garden of trust and shared moments, meticulously constructed within the palace walls. Khair-un-Nissa's mother and grandmother, seeing the depth of her feelings, became the architects of this secret world. They orchestrated a way for James to enter the zenana, the women's quarters, a place no unrelated man was ever permitted to go. These were not casual visits. They were clandestine operations, disguised, often under the cloak of deepest night. James would be led through hidden passageways and secret doors. The air would be thick with the scent of jasmine and roses, the silence broken only by the soft rustle of silk and the frantic beating of two hearts. Their meeting place was a secluded chamber, away from the main corridors of the palace, a room transformed into their private universe. Picture the scene. The room is bathed in the warm, flickering glow of dozens of candles. The light dances across gilded panels and rich tapestries, creating an atmosphere of intimacy and magic. Here, James would shed his British persona and even his disguise. He would sit, not as a resident, but simply as a man in love. And Khair-un-Nissa, free from the formal constraints of her position, could be herself, a young woman experiencing the intoxicating thrill of a forbidden romance. Their conversations would have been a blend of languages and cultures. James, already a master of Persian and Hindustani, would have spoken to her in her own tongue, his words weaving poetry and promises. He called her his fair one, his angel. She, in turn, would have shared with him the stories of her world, her dreams, and her fears. Under the candlelight, their emotional connection deepened with every shared glance and every whispered word. They were not just lovers, they were confidants, two souls finding a home in one another. But their secret garden was surrounded by thorns. The court was a web of spies and informants. Every shadow held a potential threat. The fear of betrayal was a constant, unwelcome guest at their rendezvous. A single misplaced word, a curious servant, or a jealous courtier could bring their entire world crashing down. The stakes were impossibly high. For James, it meant professional ruin and disgrace. For Khair-un-Nissa, it meant dishonor for her family and an uncertain, grim future. This constant danger only seemed to intensify their bond. Every moment they stole together was precious, imbued with a sense of urgency. Their love wasn't just a gentle romance. It was an act of rebellion against the rigid structures that sought to keep them apart. This shared risk became the soil in which their trust in one another grew, creating a bond that was unbreakable. In this hidden world, gifts became their language of love. These weren't opulent displays of wealth, but deeply personal and symbolic tokens. James might bring a rare book of Persian poetry, its verses echoing the words he longed to say to her openly. Khair-un-Nissa, in return, might give him a handcrafted token, perhaps a piece of embroidery she had stitched herself, each thread a prayer for his safety and their future. One of the most significant gifts was a miniature portrait James had commissioned of himself, a way for her to keep him close even when he was away. It was a dangerous object to possess, a tangible piece of evidence of their love, and her keeping it was a testament to her devotion. And then came the moment that would seal their fates. One night, in their candlelit sanctuary, surrounded by the silence of the sleeping palace, they made their first vow. It wasn't a formal ceremony, but a simple, profound promise exchanged between two people who knew they could not live without each other. They vowed eternal love, a commitment to find a way to be together, no matter the obstacles. It was a promise to defy an empire, to challenge convention, and to build a life where their love would no longer need to hide in the shadows. This vow transformed their secret meetings. It was no longer just about stolen moments of passion. It was about planning a future. James, completely captivated, began a long and arduous process. He wrote to his superiors, pleading for permission to marry Khair-un-Nissa. He even converted to Islam, adopting the name Hashmat Jang, or valiant in battle, and fully embracing the culture of Hyderabad. He was willing to sacrifice everything: his career, his identity, his standing in British society, all for the love of his fair one. Their secret garden, born from a whispered desire and built in the shadows of the Rang Mahal, had nurtured a love so powerful it was ready to step into the light. The vows they made under candlelight set in motion a chain of events that would shock both the British and the Hyderabadi courts and forever entwine their names in history. Their story is a powerful reminder that even in the face of immense pressure, love can create its own world and defy the empires that try to contain it. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the past. If you were captivated by the story of James and Khair-un-Nissa, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more hidden histories. Let us know in the comments what part of their story fascinates you the most. We'll see you next time.